Yeah, the biggest, costing it of our time. Yeah, I think we're good on everything. The two most common problems that we have in posting that people end up calling me about, one is between Vicinity and GP not necessarily talking, where GP isn't open, or Vicinity can't see that GP is open. So that's one, just making sure GP is open first, that kind of thing. The other is a lot not being available. You look in your ERP system and you say, I have 100 on hand of this lot, but when you're in batch entry and you're trying to select that particular lot, it only shows 2 on hand or something like that, or a 0. There are 2 possible reasons that occurs. One is you could have checked that box we talked about really early this morning from component entry that says require QA inspection before use. If you did that, but you never actually passed the lot for QC, then it's not available. That's intentional design. The other thing that can happen is if you have assigned that lot to a different batch that you haven't posted yet, you've just got it sitting out there in Vicinity. Vicinity uses that as a pseudo allocation, and so it's not going to let you assign that same lot to another batch, and thus over allocate the batch or the quantity. Yeah, don't do that. And so sometimes I can show you a way in Vicinity View that you can go looking to find where you may have already set up that lot, another batch that it might be assigned to. Questions on batch entry?
I have a question. I don't know if anyone's run this before, but we're having a problem with Vicinity. We have it out to 5 decimals, right? Which makes sense, raw materials and everything. But then in GP, we only have it for 2, so we don't want to invoice the customer
Yep.
by a fraction of a penny. So how do you handle those variances? Because you can see in the reports, it's off $2 sometimes, off a cent. How do you handle that?
By accepting it. Yeah.
Cost of doing business.
Yeah, it shouldn't be very much, but you can potentially run into rounding issues because that's our big bucket. You've got this big bucket here, you're going to divide by the quantity we're putting on hand. It's not always going to divide out evenly, especially if you're only allowing it to go to 2 decimals. What GP does with that is it does sort of a split lot type of situation. I'm not sure what NAD and assumption, they got to do something too. But GP does sort of a split lot. And so it will take, let's say I'm putting 100 on hand, it's going to put 99 on hand with the exact same cost. And then whatever the remainder is necessary to make the math work out, it'll put the final 1 on hand at that cost.
Okay.
And that's what GP does with it. Is that what you're seeing, or are you seeing something different?
Yeah, I think it's different.
Okay, I can look at it then.
Okay.
The other option you have is to make 5 decimals in GP. Just round on your invoices, round out.
That's what I was thinking. 'Cause especially like if you got a business where you're filling rail cars, then those 3 decibels could make a huge difference.
Yeah.
Is that an option?
You're sort of, yeah, it's just a reporting option in GP.
Really?
So, yeah, talk to your VAR about changing decimal places. That's a little bit of a job. But once you do that, you just go and edit the report and round on your report. Instead of showing 5 decimal places, just show 2 and round it up to the next cent. Pass that variance off to your customer.
That'd be great. Why not?
They get their cost of doing business.
Because you're talking less than a penny, you know what I mean? In most cases.
Most of the time.
If you do it that way.
Are there any guidelines that you all have regarding ops closed? And the reason I'm asking is that the way I've been ops closing is we do monthly physical inventories. So I let the physical inventory shake out. Now if there's any issues, that batch could go back and be corrected if somebody made a bad entry.
I close that for you. Personally, as long as you have a business and process in place,
Doesn't matter.
it doesn't matter. I would personally go ahead and close it. One thing that happens is this list that you see right here
Right,
is
gets
only
longer and
open
longer.
batches. Okay, and that helps. We don't put closed batches in here, you're less likely to grab them by mistake, that sort of thing. Well, for these batches that you're talking about, they're really done. We don't really want anybody posting on them, so I just assume them not be in the list. And knowing that you can reopen the batch, especially if you only give the reopen a batch to a certain select few, that would be my personal leaning, would be go ahead and close the batch. Let's avoid having people post to it by mistake. And then on those few batches where I find out that I had a problem, go reopen them.
Okay.
Which, like I said, for most people will still be 2, and this latest release is V4, and it's
See,
a
now, we
very
don't have
simple
that
process.
as of yet, so.
But, I mean, it's there in V2 now.
And the screen
and-
looks the same in V2.
Yeah, I
Okay.
mean, the screen
Okay.
is identical, just it's blue here instead of gray.
Good.
Personal preference.
Did you talk about issues around resizing? I know it's something that comes up quite a bit. I stepped out for a few minutes
We
when
talked
you.
a lot about resizing. I
Okay.
know that we talked about issues a bit, but I think there are a bunch of options on how to resize.
Okay.
All right. The schedule says we're free until 2:45, at which point I believe that we are all next door to do Vicinity View together.
Oh, that's in the other room.
So,
This is room 2.
unless there's not room for us in the maybe I will separate them.